Many present day crops were developed by the domestication of ancient crops. Whatever the old varieties we are using today, we can say all food crops. All food crops what we are doing cultivating nowadays, all are developed from the domestication of the ancient crops only. Okay, this is very important point. See here, what is plant breeding and how can we do plant breeding? Plant breeding, it is nothing but cross hybridization. I told you. This might also complete because much gap came. See, what is plant breeding? What we do in plant breeding? Plant breeding is crossing or hybridization. What is crossing or hybridization? Just now I told you a crossing between a male plant and a female plant will give progeny. What we do here, crossing here, crossing or hybridization. In sexual reproduction, we came across about hybridization, especially artificial hybridization we came across. What is artificial hybridization? As sexual reproduction is giving hybrids or variations, especially cross pollination is a process that can give more varieties. As cross pollination can give more varieties, the process of cross pollination is encouraged and self pollination is prevented by using artificial hybridization in bisexual flowers. In bisexual flowers, we prevent self pollination and encourage cross pollination by a method called as artificial hybridization, where male reproductive part of flower, bisexual flower, stamens are removed. The stamens are removed and stigma is covered with a paper bag. That process we call it as hybridization. Okay, here hybridization of pure lines. What is a pure line means? Usually a gene has two forms, dominant form, recessive form, that will come across in genetics chapter. If that pure lines, a crossing of hybridization are pure lines. Pure line means if a gene has a dominant character for everyone, then it is pure line. If a gene has a recessive character for every gene, then it is called as what? Recessive. This is plant breeding involves crossing or hybridization of pure lines followed by artificial selection. Artificial selection. This is very important point. Many times this question was asked in NEET exam. Plant breeding involves crossing or hybridization of pure lines followed by artificial selection. What are these two stages of plant breeding? Means crossing followed by artificial hybridization. Or a question may come, how can we breed or how can we develop new varieties by using plant breeding? Means crossing followed by artificial hybridization. That is a main point. See here, how we can do this process means with advancements made in. What are advancements? Advancements means new techniques or methods. With the advancements of genetics, molecular biology, tissue culture, by using genetics. Genetics is a branch of science that involves study of genes and their function. Molecular basis of inheritance, molecular biology. Molecular biology is a science that involves the study of DNA, RNA and protein related processes. Tissue culture. Tissue culture is a process where we can develop new plants, by using a single cell. If we take a plant cell, from one plant cell we can develop many plants. A complete plant can be produced That is called what? Tissue culture. By using this tissue culture, we can develop a plant breeding with the advancement. We can advancement breeding is more effective or more efficient, and presented as molecular genetics is the major branch of science that involves plant breeding mainly. Nowadays, that plant breeding is increasing day by day by using molecular genetics. Okay, here, what are the characters we need to introduce into plants? The characters we introduce into a crop by breeding. How can we introduce a character? Suppose a rice plant is there. That rice plant is growing its life cycle and it is giving yield. We need to produce a rice with a high yielding capacity, means then we need to develop a rice variety which can give more yield. Same species of rice, to that species of rice we can use additional character. That is only plant breeding. In mechanism, in process, we will discuss what are the characters that we can try to incorporate into crop plants. The characters we try to incorporate is high yielding. High yield is first one, then disease resistance is next one, then tolerance to environmental conditions is one, then food quality is another one, food quality, then pest resistance, These are the main characters we need to introduce into a new plant by sexual reproduction, where we can get a better variety of the plants. See, how can we introduce? Just now I told you, I will take an example. Suppose with the help of example I will tell you, then in mechanism or process also I will explain very well. Suppose take a plant. You know, rose plants are there now. Rose. In rose there is a plant A, plant B. Suppose rose plants have different colors of roses. Different colors of roses we have. That different colors of roses can be produced. Okay. Usually rose plant have thorns on its stem. The thorns are what spine-like structures. If thorns are present, then the cultivation of roses is somewhat difficult. So what can we do? If your plant A has suppose any color, yellow color roses and thorns are there. Nowadays, thornless roses also produced. Suppose we have a thornless rose with white color. See, it has yellow color, this is one character, this is white color, that is another character. Here thorns are there, here thorns are absent. See, but I would like to get a rose plant that will give yellow color without thorns. Suppose if I am interested to do plant breeding, by crossing between these two, this character can be introduced here by eliminating this character. The same plant will be there. A new variety of this plant can be produced by introducing this character. Okay, that new character is being introduced into the plant. So, such characters will can be given more importance or more preference. More preference should be given to those. Okay, here what are those characters means? First one is high yielding. first preference in plant breeding is to increase the yield, then disease resistance. Second preference goes to disease resistance. Third preference goes to tolerant to environmental conditions. What are environmental conditions? Some plants may grow in high temperature. Some plants cannot grow in high temperature. Soil salinity, coldness, like that. See, if a plant is tolerant to all environmental conditions, then we can grow that plant everywhere in India or everywhere across the world, so that we can cultivate them better and we can increase the yield. If the plant is not suitable for particular environment condition like high temperature, then we cannot grow everywhere, so that its yield cannot be increased. That is the point we need to remember. And food quality. What is the food quality? Means even we are producing more amount of food, that more amount of food should have very good quality. What is the quality which a food should possess? Means a food has all the nutrients or all the food stuff that we need. Usually we need a balanced diet. That balanced diet must possess all food stuffs like carbohydrates, protein, lipid, vitamins, minerals, fiber, and everything. If all these are present in a food, then the food can be called as what? Balanced diet. We need all these food stuffs. Suppose what is food quality means? Suppose golden rice, a rice was developed which has very more content of vitamin A. Usually vitamin A deficiency causes night blindness. If we use that golden rice, we can prevent night blindness. Like that, nutrient quality, vitamin quality can be improved. Not only that, take rice. Rice has a full amount of what? Carbohydrates. Starch is present more, but proteins, lipids are present in less quantity. Especially rice protein is very less. But if we develop a rice variety which have protein, lipid, even vitamins, minerals, all are present in rice means, then only rice is enough to us. No need to take vegetables, no need to take any other fruits, no need to take even curries also. For taste only we need curries. Otherwise we can take rice. By rice we can get all food stuff like a protein, carbohydrate, lipid, everything. Like that, food quality is one thing, and pest resistance is also one thing. What is pest resistance? Some insects and pests may infect the crops, and that may decrease the yield. Nowadays, we came to know that grasshoppers, some grasshoppers are coming to India nowadays. From 1 week we are listening or we are watching news that some grasshoppers came to India, like in Rajasthan, some states, they are eating all the croplands. In millions of grasshoppers are coming to India. When grasshoppers coming to India in high content or high number, nowadays what is happening there? Even after Corona, that grasshoppers became very problem to India, because they are the insects which are landing on croplands and they are eating the crops what we are cultivating. If they eat all leaves of the crop plants, then yield can be decreased, loss will come. So that if we develop a pest resistant crops, pest resistant means even that insects like grasshoppers or something are coming, even they are taking the food, that insects will die and the plants will be safe. Like that, some preferences should be given, and according to this, we can develop new plants by using plant breeding. And with the help of plant breeding, we need to improve the quality and quantity. First quantity, then quality of the food. Food should be produced in large quantity, then food quality should be increased. Okay, coming to history of plant breeding in India, there is a well-renowned scientist named M.S. Swaminathan. M.S. Swaminathan, he belongs to Tamil Nadu. M.S. Swaminathan is a scientist. He is a renowned biologist. He is considered as father of Green Revolution. He is a father of Green Revolution India-wide. India-wide, M.S. Swaminathan is considered as the father of Green Revolution. Okay, what he did? He developed scented basmati. Scented basmati. Scented basmati is a rice variety where that has more aroma. Aroma means good flavor, taste is there. At an institute called as IARI, New Delhi. Along with his co-workers, he developed by breeding method, he developed a variety of basmati, which is called as scented basmati at an institute called IARI. What is IARI? IARI stands for Indian Agricultural Research Institute. In Indian Agricultural Research Institute, he made a scented variety of basmati along with his co-workers. Please wait 1 second. Chalk piece. Okay, wait, I got. Along with his co-workers, he developed a scented variety of basmati at IARI New Delhi, which is called Indian Agricultural Research Institute. And he established an institute. That institute is School of Cytogenetics and Radiation Research. He established an institute named School of Cytogenetics and Radiation Research. In this institute, they are doing this plant breeding experiments. He is Padma Bhushan awardee. He got awarded with Padma Bhushan as he contributed for the Green Revolution, where with the help of plant breeding, he tried to develop new varieties that can give more yield. More yield is produced along with this. Okay, see here, what is his aim? His aim is developing semi-dwarf or the semi-dwarf, we can say short duration and high yielding varieties. Short duration and high yielding varieties. He mainly focused on developing short duration varieties. I told you just now, What is benefit of developing short duration? If a plant is able to complete its life cycle within 3 months, then for a year we can do 4 crops, so that we can produce more food. If a crop is living for 6 months, if a crop has 6 months of duration, then only 2 crops are possible per year. Then the yield can be decreased. So he focused on the developing of short duration and high yielding varieties. In addition to that only, he developed a scented basmati variety. And he got inspired by who? M.S. Swaminathan. He got inspired by a scientist called as Norman E. Borlaug. This Norman E. Borlaug is also a renowned scientist. He is considered as father of Green Revolution. He is considered as father of Green Revolution across the world. In India, father of Green Revolution is M.S. Swaminathan. Across the world, father of Green Revolution is Norman E. Borlaug. Okay. See, Norman E. Borlaug developed some semi-dwarf varieties of wheat. I am erasing here. Norman E. Borlaug, what he did is semi-dwarf varieties of wheat were introduced in India from Mexico. This Norman E. Borlaug is a Mexican scientist who developed semi-dwarf varieties of wheat. That varieties were introduced into India by M.S. Swaminathan with the inspiration of Norman E. Borlaug. Okay, this is semi-dwarf variety of wheat. This we can call it as wonder wheat, which can give more yield. That is developed by Norman E. Borlaug in Mexico. That is developed by an institute, International Center for Wheat and Maize Improvements. International Center of Wheat and Maize Improvements. This was developed at International Center of Wheat and Maize Improvements. By this institute, at this institute by Norman E. Borlaug, wonder wheat variety was produced. Wonder wheat variety was developed. That wonder wheat was introduced into India by M.S. Swaminathan. And M.S. Swaminathan, he made lab to land practice. What is lab to land practice means? Lab to land. Normally, whatever we do experiments regarding hybridization or anything, we do normally in lab only. All the experiments we do in lab only. Okay. In the lab, we do cross hybridization and production, everything. But entire lab he shifted to land. Wherever we are doing agriculture, crop field, to that crop field, in that crop field only M.S. Swaminathan did all experiments. He did all his experiments in cropping field. Sorry, wait some time. Here more air is coming. Till now it was rained. Again it is looking raining. That's why some technical errors are raising. Be patient. Yesterday also it rained. Now also, today also it was rained already. 1 second, I will close. Right. M.S. Swaminathan introduced lab to land practice. Especially with the advancements made in the 21st century, this was contributed to human welfare. With advancements made in 21st century, now we are in 21st century. 21st century, it contributed to human welfare. Breeding methods were contributed to human welfare. What are the benefits we are doing or we are getting in 21st century means, in the field of medicine. Medicine means finding diseases and disorders and their treatments. Here, many antibiotics were developed. As many antibiotics were developed, we can get a cureness from the disease. Many antibiotics are diseased and many plant-derived drugs were developed. Plant-derived drugs were developed in 21st century with the help of plant breeding. Not only this, even in agriculture also, we got some benefits. What are that? Food processing and developing anesthetics, production of anesthetics, food processing, and not only this, development of diagnostics. All these helped humans to live a better life in 21st century. See how in 21st century it made humans to possible to live a better life means with the help of antibiotics. Many antibiotics like wonder drug penicillin. Penicillin is considered as wonder drug. That was being developed by very large scales. In industrial scales, we are developing penicillin by using bacteria. When antibiotics are available, we can control bacterial diseases very easily. Plant-derived drugs. Many plants are used for the development of drugs which can cure diseases or which can control our metabolic activities or which can increase our healthiness. Not only that, in agriculture also, food processing methods were developed. What are the food processing? Normally, without processing, the food may have less quality. When food is processed, a better quality and good quality food we can get. Good quality means that has all required nutrients. Anesthetics are the drugs we can use for anesthesia during surgery. When we are unable to use anesthesia during surgery, the person may feel more painful. If anesthesia is given, the surgery will become more easy. Diagnostics also, finding the diseases very easily, effectively. If diagnosis is easy, then treatment will also be easy. Nowadays, very popular, Corona came now, COVID-19. For that, many trials were going on. That recently, what diagnostic method, when Corona came to this India or any other country, diagnosis was taking around 2 days. Detection of Corona patients, confirmation of Corona positive patient took around 2 days. Okay. I mean collection of sample, and the sample was sent to another place. There that was tested for positive results. Then it was confirmed. Like that, it took more time. But nowadays, corona positive tests were available very more. Within half hour, within 30 minutes, we can get the result of corona positive patients. That is possible because the new advancements are being made. With the help of that new advancements, we can get better welfare to human beings. Okay. Another important point is with increasing population, we need to provide sufficient food for people. We need to provide sufficient food for people. That is very important. Food enhancement should be done. What is the need of food enhancement? Suppose in olden days population was very less. As population was very less, the rate of agriculture is more. That agriculture is giving some yield. That yield, food grains what we are getting, they are sufficient for that population, no problem. But nowadays population was increasing day by day, and acreage means number of acres being cultivated, number of acres. Suppose acreage is decreased, that means agriculture is decreasing day by day, cultivation. As cultivation is decreasing day by day and there is increase in the population, if agriculture is not done well, then what will happen? One fine day, all people will not get food. There will be fight for the food. Now we are fighting for money. People are fighting for money. After some days, if agriculture was not carried well, then deficiency of food or shortage of food will become. Due to that shortage of food, people will fight for the food. They will struggle for the food. Okay. If that struggle becomes, some people will die. Population will decrease. Society will get disturbed. Ecosystems will get disturbed. So that we need to implement some better methods for enhancement of the food. That enhancement is done by breeding techniques, by developing new varieties which can give more yield. Okay, see here some principles of genetics applied. Not only genetics, I told you already, tissue culture. Some principles of genetic tissue culture are applied to plant breeding and animal husbandry. To plant breeding and animal husbandry, some biological principles where we can give more yield, some betterment, they are applied, and with the help of that principles we can increase the food production. What are that principles? Are mutation breeding. Mutation is sudden changes that are occurring in DNA. If DNA is undergoing sudden changes, then it is called as mutation breeding. And breeding with wild varieties. Breeding with wild varieties. This is the principle of genetics related to DNA. What is a wild variety? A variety, I told you, if expression of character takes place at any condition, then it is called as a dominance. If character is not expressed all the time, then it is called as a recessive condition. That dominance and recessiveness we can see in another chapter. But if a character DNA is expressing at any condition, then it is called as wild variety. That wild varieties, mutation breeding, tissue culture, single cell protein, tissue culture, these are applied and we can increase yield. To increase the yield, these methods are applied to animal husbandry and plant breeding. What is plant breeding? Plant breeding is nothing but crossing between plants and there is development of new variety. Animal husbandry means same animal breeding, we can call it as animal husbandry. In animal husbandry, that animals like cows, not only cows are used for milk production, chicken, chicks, birds, honeybees, fishes, not only that, some other also, silkworms. So all those are maintained by breeding experiment. That is called as animal husbandry. Okay. Then, especially if we use the traditional farming methods, traditional farming means old methods what we use in olden days. By using traditional farming, they will give less yield. Yield is not very good in traditional methods. Traditional farming can only yield limited area as a food. They give less yield. So that better management practices can increase. If we follow better management practices, what are better management practices means? Use of fertilizers. If we use fertilizers, then yield can be increased somewhat, not fully. And increase in acreage. Acreage means number of acres available to agriculture land is increased. That means more land is brought to the availability for cultivation. That is increase in acreage. Can enhance yield up to limit only. These can increase yield, they can increase yield, but up to a limit only. They cannot increase very more. Much yield cannot be increased by using these fertilizers or by increasing the land. But plant breeding technology, can increase yield up to maximum. We can get a maximum yield by using plant breeding method. Okay, by using this plant breeding methods only, green revolution was made. With the help of that green revolution, we got surplus of food. What is surplus of food? More food is produced than our need. More food is produced than our need. That is called as surplus. What is the need to the human beings of our country? That is need. More food is produced by this green revolution. By encouraging processes or agriculture, that is called as green revolution. Encouraging milk production is white revolution. Encouraging egg production is silver revolution. Encouraging fish production is blue revolution. Increasing or enhancing meat production is red revolution. Like that, there is around 15 types of revolution. 15 revolutions are there. Among them, green revolution is one where agriculture rate is increased. That green revolution can increase the food production, but it is depending on the plant breeding. Plant breeding, green revolution. Green Revolution is based on plant breeding. Time is 5:05. Copy this. Then you can take a 5 minutes break. Don't leave the meeting. I locked the meeting. If once you leave the meeting, you cannot join again. Remember that. Be waited. Be waiting in the meeting. Don't leave the meeting. You can copy. I will be here. I will continue after 5 minutes. In different forms. See, one by one, I will repeat once more these 5 steps. 5 steps are there in plant breeding. One is collection of variability. Second one is evaluation and selection of parents. Third one is cross hybridization among the selected parents. Fourth one is selection of superior recombinants. And fifth one is testing, release and commercialization of new cultivars. What is the collection of variability? For every plant, whatever the character we are doing, before the selection for cross hybridization, that means what is cross hybridization? 2 plants were taken between the 2 parents, what pollen grains are crossed, that is what cross hybridization. Before the cross hybridization, we need to collect the data for all characters. Before the crossing between parents, maximum pre-existing genetic variability should be collected. Pre-existing means we are developing new variety. Before to that variety, what are the existing varieties? In that varieties, all the characters means regarding, suppose take a character and its forms. I told you what flower color in rose. In flower color of rose, there are many colors like white rose, green rose, blue rose, red rose, black rose, yellow, pink, different colors. All these characters should be collected. How should we collect is the question. That collection of all varieties is done by collecting seeds of different varieties or by collecting plants of all these varieties or by collecting the DNA of all these varieties. Wherever we are doing experiments, for that experiment, we need to collect the characters of a variety. All characters of a variety should be collected. That collection is called as what? Germplasm collection. What is germplasm means? DNA or genes related to, all genes related to a character of species is called germplasm. Germplasm, entire collection of plants in the form of seeds or DNA or what? Plant, seed or DNA, entire collection of all characters for all varieties of a species is called germplasm. Suppose I told you a thornless white rose is one and thorn present, thorned yellow rose is another one. For this, both we collect. This is one germplasm, that is one character, this is one character. If all rose plants were collected, then it is called germplasm. If rice is there is around 2 lakhs varieties of rice in India in olden days. 2 lakhs varieties of rice. Okay. If all characters are collected, then it is called as germplasm collection. And second step is evaluation and selection of parents. All that germplasm we may not need, because based on our need only we choose some characters. What is our character? Short yielding variety, short semi-dwarf variety or short growing variety is one. High yielding variety, not short yielding variety, short plant, short growing, that means semi-dwarf variety. Semi-dwarf growth is one variety and that is one our desire, and high yield is one desire. Okay, like that, whatever the desirable characters we need, all that was evaluated After the evaluation, that parents are selected. Two parents are selected. One is a male parent, another one is female parent. Plants with desirable characters are identified from the germplasm. Whatever we collected from that all varieties, the identified, I mean the useful characters we need to identify. That is one. And selected parents are multiplied. Selected parents are also produced in high number for experiments, and between that parents we can go for hybridization. Selection of parents is very important. Okay, and what is cross hybridization? Cross hybridization is a process which involves crossing between a male parent and female parent. What is a crossing between male parent and female parent? By natural method of pollination we can do crossing, or by artificial hybridization where anthers are removed, that is emasculation is done in male flowers, and to the stigma there is a dusting of effective pollen grain, that is artificial hybridization. By artificial hybridization, by natural pollination, pollen grains are carried from anther to stigma. That is what cross hybridization. This cross hybridization needs artificial hybridization in bisexual flower. Why? Because in bisexual flower, same pollen grain or self pollen grain will be received by bisexual flower, then new varieties formation will be less in bisexual flower. So that we need to develop new varieties. We need to develop new varieties means we need to do artificial hybridization where emasculation followed by bagging should be done for bisexual flowers in cross hybridization. Then selection of superior recombinants. What I told you? Selection and testing. Selection and testing of superior recombinants. What are superior recombinants means? Suppose I will give one example related to genetics. Just see here, if tallness of plants, this is tall, this is a tall. I think in 10th class you might study genetics very little. Here capital T both are dominant. These are recessive. When these are crossed in F2 progeny, there is possibility of capital T small t will form. When capital T small t are again crossed, then here two gametes will form, Capital T is possible, capital T small t is possible, small t is possible. This is one parent, this is one parent. In progeny also parent combination, capital T is parent. No, here there is formation of capital T. In daughter progeny also there is formation of small t. This is a tall plant, this is dwarf plant. When they are crossed, first there is formation of intermediate. Intermediate means here hybrid plants. These are also tall only, but it is heterozygous condition, we'll say. In genetics, we'll see about this in detail. Okay. Whereas here, there is formation of one parental combination, another parent. The remaining one is called as what? Recombinant. If these recombinants are with high rate, then it is called as superior recombinant. Superior recombinant is one which can give more yield. Superior recombinants are very effective recombinants. Superior recombinants are those in which there is high rate of recombination. Like what super male, super females are formed now. In cows, super females are produced means they will give more milk. Okay, that is superior recombinant. That superior recombinants are selected. That selection of this superior recombinants with desirable characters to be done. With desirable characters, that is done by scientific evaluation. Scientific evaluation means that is tested again by using these crosses, like a test cross, back crosses are there. By using that scientific evaluation, we will select superior recombinants from the progeny. Then the selected recombinants, selection is done, again they were tested. How they are tested means they are self-pollinated for some more generations. If cross-pollination is there, then there is formation of what? Recombinants or varieties, new varieties. That new varieties have superior recombinants. See here, suppose this is superior recombinant. This superior recombinant is self-pollinated for some more generation. If it is self-pollinated for some more generation, again there is development of complete homozygous condition, or pure lines will develop again. Pure lines. Pure line means all dominant characters will come again. That pure lines are more efficient. Why? Because if it is not a pure line, then suppose this is a pure line. When it is a pure line, in the next crop, one gamete will dissociate and another gamete will dissociate, like that. Both offsprings will give same character. If it is not a pure line, see here, one is dominant, one is recessive, means when it is cropped into next generation, in next generation, one will give dominant and another daughter plant will get recessive character. That means two different offsprings will be produced. Only one offspring will be useful, another offspring will not be useful. So that homozygosity. Homozygosity means both dominant or both recessive conditions we need to develop. So homozygosity is developed by testing and by self-pollination. Then finally, testing of that release and releasing into market. Testing of that and release and commercialization of the new cultivars. Tested cultivar. Cultivar means a new variety. Cultivation variety is called as, agriculture variety is called as a new cultivar. That cultivars are tested. How we need to test means, here a new variety we develop for rice. That variety is grown in all environmental conditions and its growth rate is monitored, checked. Suppose a rice variety is developed means that rice variety was grown in all areas of all temperate zones in India. Everywhere in India it is cultivated first and its growth rate in every environmental condition is checked. In every soil its growth and yield is checked. At high temperature, at low temperature, its growth and yield is checked. That is what testing. We need to check that hybrid in all agricultural belts and their data was recorded. If it is efficient, then that variety of agriculture should be released into market and it is commercialized. Just before the commercialization, we need to produce 2 to 3 crops continuously. If we produce 2 to 3 crops continuously, then we will get one idea that these crops are effective. They can give more yield. Their growth rate and everything was monitored. So for 2 to 3 crops, it was checked and finally it is released into market. Hybrids are further evaluated in comparison with existing varieties. So this variety we developed by these 5 steps. By using these 5 steps, we developed a new variety. This new variety was compared with a pre-existing variety. Already we have rice variety. We developed a new rice variety. These both are compared. Which one is effective? If a new variety is not effective than existing variety, then it is not useful. That is not released into market. Because if a new variety is released into market, it will increase the investment. That is the process. So 5 steps are used for the development of new varieties. Okay. Now you can write notes. I will dictate notes. You can write notes. After the notes, if time is there, we will continue. Otherwise, we will end today's class. Plant breeding involves 5 steps. See, students are leaving the meeting. I informed Vice Principal sir to take attendance at last minute. Your faculty will come, state board faculty, and they will mark attendance at last minute only. They are monitoring. They may be monitoring. They will take attendance in last minute. That attendance will only posted to the school. Remember that. Note down. Plant breeding involves five main steps. Sandhya, okay, I am ready to allow Sandhya, but there are two names. Five main steps. Plant breeding involves five main steps. Note down that five steps. One is, first one, keep heading, collection of variability. Collection of variability. Under that, before finalizing the selection of parents, or before selection of parents, before the selection of parents, maximum pre-existing genetic variability has to be collected in that species. Then this includes wild varieties, pre-existing varieties, which give genetic variation. Next point, the entire collection in the form of plants and seeds having all the alleles or all the genes, otherwise all the alleles for all genes of a given crop is called germplasm collection. germplasm collection. Second heading, evaluation and selection of parents. Evaluation and selection of parents. Under that, plants with desirable combinations of characters, are identified from germplasm. Next point, the selected plants are multiplied and used in the hybridization. Next point, pure lines are created wherever desirable and possible through self-pollination. Next, third heading, cross hybridization among the selected parents. Under that, plants with the selected desirable characters are crossed. Okay, by transferring pollen from the male parents to the sigma of female parents. female parent. Next point. The hybrid plant in the progeny. The hybrid plant